Good morning, Gospel Life Church. Good to see you today. I've got the weekly devotional for, I don't know even what is today's date. I don't even know what today's date is. Let's see, October 14th, 2020. And just going to share something that I've been working on. I've been writing an article. There's going to be a series of articles coming out written by plenty of people from our church on the book of Habakkuk in particular. And my assignment, one of my two assignments for those articles, is to look at chapter 3, which in the book of Habakkuk is very different from the other two chapters. Chapters 1 and 2, Habakkuk's kind of dialoguing with God, working through a problem of evil, what we call in theology as a theodicy. How do you defend God's goodness in the midst of evil presence in the world, etc. And when you get to chapter 3 is Habakkuk's response to everything that he gives as he contemplates the answers that the Lord gives him, as he wrestles through the sovereignty of God, as he wrestles through how God judges his people, all that type of thing. He responds with a prayer, as it's called, or a psalm, you might say, in chapter 3. And I just want to read probably the most popular passage in Habakkuk chapter 3, verses 17 through 19. There's four major, I'd say 5 verses actually, of Habakkuk's response in chapter 3 to God's sovereign plan and God's answers to him. And in verses 17 through 19, he gives his response. He says, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, yet. So if all these things were to take place, kind of, if we could put it in modern terms, if the stock market were to crash, not that we haven't experienced that before, if the economy were to go flat, if I would not be able to go out and buy normally what I could buy and put it on my shelves to eat, if all that is taking place, if the worst of the worst that I could imagine is taking place, then he says, verse 18, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord, is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places. To the choir master with stringed instruments. So it's an attitude that Habakkuk has that we can learn from. Somebody who went through difficulty like we do, somebody who experienced economic failure like we do. He is resolved in his God. And that's a hard thing to do each day. I don't know about you, but to get up and to say, okay, whatever God brings today, my security, my identity, my focus, my place that I will find my joy is not in the things that pass in this earth, but in my Lord, as he says in verse 18, I'll rejoice, take joy in the God of my salvation. God is the Savior. God has saved me. That's where I can find joy. Because the fact of the matter is, fruit might not be on the vine. The fig tree may not blossom. There may not be olive oil produced from the olive. The stock market might not work. the job may let me go. All these types of things could take place. No, those are big things. But I think on a daily basis, disappointment happens all the time. Each day, things don't go the way you want them to go. Your friends don't treat you the way that you want them to treat you. Your fellow employees or your employer may handle a situation that brings disappointment. At those times, like Habakkuk, we are faced with a choice. And with him, he had resolved in his heart to say, no matter what, I will rejoice in my God at those times, at those points. No matter what, that's where I'm going to find my joy, my security, my strength, my identity. And it's a challenge for each of us, challenge for me this week. Hope you have a good day. Remember that. Maybe make that vow that Habakkuk did, that no matter what I'm going through, I'm going to find my joy in something greater than what passes in this fallen world. So hope you have a great day. It's good to see you. God bless you.